something that we've already covered, and it was actually in the previous episode. It was about faking DJ sets.
Not this again.
Dave, we're going back to it
I've talked
again.
to a few people since then, and they all have my opinion. They're like, what? People just play pre-recorded mix? And I'm like, apparently so, man. Apparently so. Yeah. Go on, what have you got? What's the news?
Well, in this case, it's up for debate, I would say, for the justification of this, because I'm a bit on the fence with it, but I can kind of understand the reasoning. So, this is actually very recent. So, obviously, when we were speaking about faking DJ sets in our previous episode, this was based on a bit of viral footage that Deadmau5 had put up, and this was from quite some time ago, actually. But this, what we saw, or what I saw the other day, this was actually from posted on July 25th. So this is actually only as of the time of this recording, only a few days ago. But this is basically from Eric Prydz, Dave, if you remember him. And this is a post courtesy of Dancing Astronaut, which had the post saying, quote, while watching this Prydz stream, here's his response about his Sonar set being pre-recorded. He said there was only one working CDJ, so instead of cancelling, he put on a practice set he had recorded while programming Holosphere 2.0. And this is the actual statement from Prydz himself. Quote, yes, that's true. The Sonar set, air quotations, was a fully pre-recorded set made in Logic. Not sure who of you were there on the night, but the long delay and all the people running around on stage in silence was due to a malfunction of the setup I was supposed to perform on. Nothing worked at all. Only one CDJ. Oh yeah, only one CDJ with the USB in seemed to work. After trying to replace players, mixer multiple times without any luck, we all realized there wasn't going to be a show. My TM had a practice set for the programming of Holosphere 2 with him that the team had been using, and I made the call that it would be better to play something on that one CDJ than not playing and leave the 15,000 people and shut the arena down. E or Eric.
So
Dave Collins,
two minds instantly. Respect to the guy for having a backup mix on a USB stick. I always say that's always good to have for situations just like this. Having said that, I always, if you're doing a festival like Sonar, is that what they were? Sonar?
Yep.
Yeah, Sonar. Backup mixer, backup decks, a backup of everything, almost for every one DJ setup you've got a spare one in the back of the van. Do you know what I mean? Not even back of the van, underneath the table, you've got a backup setup just in case, sort of thing. I mean, it sounds like they had a full failure on the mixer or something, and I'd say, well, just have a spare mixer ready to go. Do you know what I mean? Hell, have an analog one that doesn't require computers and stuff. I don't know. But at least he had a USB stick. I mean, fair play for that. But it's not perfect, is it? It's not ideal.
No, and do you know what? And actually, if you dig into his statement a little bit more, the way he's put it here in the middle, saying, quote, nothing worked at all. Only one CDJ with the USB in seemed to work. And then he says, after trying to replace players mixer multiple times, they still didn't work. So what's going on there then, Dave? Would you say, is that down to like a lack of power? Things are not configured properly?
Let me show it really quickly, right? 2 seconds. It's just so happens I've got this.
Oh, I'll tell you what, how prepared is Dave for this bit? And this is fantastic. Audio listeners, he is reaching out to get a mixer, I believe.
I understand that having a full studio mixer or a full like Pioneer XYZ with 1 billion channels is required. But as a backup mixer, I always bring this. And it's basic as hell. It's just got 2 channels and just RCA outputs. But the reason is because if you've got a really complicated setup and it breaks, at least you've got something that just does the basics and it's easy to understand, easy to plug in, easy to go. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes with like a really complicated mixer setup, it can take you about half an hour to get it all working. You know what I mean? But something bare bones like this, you can just whack 2 CDJs in and an output done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, as a backup gear, I mean, that's what I use for backup gear. But I'm just saying, you can get a Pioneer one that's more high quality than this, just a basic 2-channel mixer. You know what I mean? Yeah, just because I saw that the other day and I thought that's pretty much my backup mix that I bring with me on gigs. You know what I mean?
It's yeah, and very well said actually, because I mean the other thing, like, I just can't help but think is that, like, this is Eric Prydz doing his Holosphere 2.0 performance, so he's a headliner, right? I just find it really odd that, like, even their replacement CDJs and mixers also didn't work. Like what's
Yeah.
going on with that? And plus,
And,
like you said, he had 15,000 people waiting for him to play. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
And you'll find a lot of people use a lot of like MIDI controllers and stuff these days, or they'll use like, again, what if your laptop breaks? Do you know what I mean? What's the backup plan then? So many things to think about, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, and actually, good point, because we actually witnessed this firsthand round when we were at Sunnyside Festival in Malta earlier in May. I think it was the first night. There was, I forget who the DJ was who was playing, but he had a laptop malfunction, right? And he had to end his set like 40 minutes
You have
early.
to end it. And
Yep.
it's like, man, you should at least have like backup USBs or something, right? I would say CDs, but apparently the new CDJs don't even have CD slots. So CDs are out now, I guess. But yeah, something just to bail you out, I suppose, because your laptop goes down, you are just snookered. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
like
people can say, people will start to bring up, you wouldn't get that with a MacBook, you wouldn't get that with a Windows device, but trust me, you can get it on anything. Doesn't matter what it is. Like your laptop can F up. You know what I mean?
oh yeah.
And yeah, it's totally worth having a backup in those scenarios. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, in closing, I would say fair play to him for playing something, right? Because like, as he said, it was either he plays this pre-record or there's nothing. So
yeah, and when you
I'll
got
give him
15,000
credit.
people in front of you, like you've got to do something. You know what I mean? You can't.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a lesson, I think, on how to always have a backup plan. You know what I mean? Even if it's just a USB stick, always have an idea of what to do. So.
Yeah. So if anything, the final word from Changing Faces is, as us being judges, you're being led off, Eric Prydz. You actually did well there, but for the love of God, try your best not to do any more pre-records. But if you're in that situation, good on you. Right, Dave?
Yeah, it's better than just getting on a microphone and just blaming the gear, which I've seen so many DJs do. They go, it's all broken. Like, mate, no one wants to hear that it's broken. They want to hear music. Sort something out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I was going to try and think of a way of transitioning this from our speech to the promo rollout, but I guess if anything, if I can try, let's just say that Eric Prydz had a mix, and that was good that he had it. But somewhere else where there's loads of mixes is on our Mixcloud Select even.